the divisive debate that rolls around this time every year. But as the pollies wade into yet another round of culture war politics over Australia Day and tensions heat up over nationwide protests, a new survey has revealed what most Aussies really think.
January 26. It's the day of iconic Aussie traditions like having a barbie, going down to the beach and listening to politicians argue about January 26.
Labor's desire to continue these culture wars and to try and pander to the left, and the Prime Minister, he knows that the Greens don't like Australia Day, which is why he's always equivocated on these matters.
You see, Peter Dutton is planning to legislate January 26th as the official national day if elected. It's currently not. That would force all local councils to celebrate and hold citizenship ceremonies on that day.
I sometimes think Peter Dutton every year has a fight with an imaginary friend over something that most Australians are just getting on with. Just chill out, get on with life.
I reckon we just leave it on the 26th.
Leave it as it is. It's always been Australia Day.
Why would you change it from the 26th of January? I'll never know.
A new survey revealing 9 in 10 Aussies think we should continue to celebrate it on January 26th. 86% saying they're less likely to support businesses that boycott the day.
It should be celebrated however you want to celebrate it.
We'll be having a barbie and drinks, as everyone should be.
To appreciate the land we live in and the opportunities we've got.
Parents have had enough of it. They want their children to be educated, not indoctrinated. They want a country where we can celebrate the peace and freedom, the ability to speak your mind.
Labor shutting down the idea that the shift in public sentiment could be linked to the defeated Voice to Parliament referendum.
I don't think so. You'll see these numbers wax and wane from year to year.
I want to make sure that one of the first and enduring priorities of the government will be to re-establish that national pride.
We have the same fake fight every year to distract from the mess of Peter Dutton's crazy policies.
But the fight is very real for those who do want the date moved. Protest rallies taking place across the country for those who believe the First Fleet's arrival on Australian shores is not a day to celebrate.
Every single year leading up to 26th of January, our people always feel a sense of heightened emotions.
We should have a day where we can all celebrate together as a big country, and that is not this day.
There's also been acts of vandalism. A marquee set up for a citizenship ceremony in Victoria was graffitied. And in Sydney, a statue of Captain Cook was covered in red paint, its hand and nose severed.
Vandalism is inappropriate, it is unnecessary, and it sets back the cause of reconciliation.
But with polls showing the majority do not want the date moved and both major parties remaining committed to keeping it where it is, are the days of the change the date debate numbered.
I'm quite out of step with the majority here because while I am very proud of the country that I live in, I don't look at Australia Day and think back on that first fleet of people coming in, and it doesn't hold any nostalgic significance for me. But for a group of people, it is a very painful day that represents the end of their way of life, and not just people coming in and saying you don't matter, but you don't exist. So from my point of view, my feelings of whatever about that day are way less important than their feelings of real passion about it. And from my perspective, I would rather their feelings take precedent over my I don't care when this day is. And I don't know that a huge amount of people that I know have a feeling of real attachment to Australia Day for any other reason than it's a chance to go and have a barbie and hang out with, I don't know, you know?
I feel like I think lots of people in my circles are really excited to celebrate Australia Day, but not particularly on that date.
Yeah.
And for 10 years, there's just been back and forth over what day can we put it on. And I think people kind of starting to go, well, I want to celebrate all that is good in this country. God knows we are not perfect as a country.
But we can celebrate that and still recognise that this is a really traumatic time for people as well.
If we do want to move it, October 29 is my suggestion, my birthday. It'd be a great day to celebrate for everyone.
Putting on a barbie.
Yeah.